Welcome everyone back to Wrestling with Politics. My name is Joel Perez, and today we're going to be discussing some serious allegations against New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who has been indicted on 5 counts of criminal charges. These allegations against the mayor include accepting luxury travel benefits from the Turkish government and accepting over $10 million in public matching funds, which turned out to be illegal campaign contributions through the use of fake straw donations. And Adams is also accused of creating a fake paper trail, or in other words, fake evidence, in order to cover all of this up. So these are some very serious allegations being dropped against Mayor Eric Adams. And if Eric Adams did illegally receive $10 million in illegal funds, then it's pretty clear that he shouldn't be standing here as the mayor of New York City to begin with. But to be honest here, these seem to be some pretty standard corruption charges coming at NYC Mayor Eric Adams. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be prosecuted or that he's not corrupt, which New York City Mayor Eric Adams definitely is. And if you get into the details of this 57-page indictment, which we will in this video, you'll see just how corrupt Eric Adams is. And it's about time that these powerful politicians get held accountable for their actions. But there are many powerful politicians who have just as much dirt under their hood, and they're able to get away with it without anyone finding out. And if you would have asked me a week ago, I would have told you that Eric Adams is one of those same politicians who can get away with just about anything. So it makes me wonder, why now? What did Eric Adams do to trigger this indictment now when he has been one of the golden boys of the Democratic Party? Did Mr. Adams happen to spend too much time at Diddy's mansion? We will attempt to unpack that in this video, as well as getting into all the juicy details of this indictment, and it gets quite interesting. But for now, let's get to Eric Adams himself and his response to these very serious allegations.
The things that you have done are unconscionable. You hurt our schools, our streets are dirty, our children are harassed by the police. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You can shush me all you want, but the people are with us. And this is not a black thing. This is a justice thing.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here this morning.
And before Eric Adams can even get a word in at his own press conference, you can already see how displeased us New Yorkers are with Eric Adams' performance as mayor, because regardless of these charges, as the mayor, Eric Adams has overseen skyrocketing rents, where the minimum amount for a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,500 for a claustrophobic box, making New York City completely unaffordable for the average everyday citizen who's not on government programs. The costs at the grocery stores have ballooned to an outrageous amount, to the point where gathering all the ingredients just to make, let's say, tacos at home could mean $50 at the grocery store for just one meal. And beyond that, the city hasn't gotten any cleaner, it hasn't gotten any newer, the trains certainly haven't gotten any faster, and New York is perhaps the oldest and smelliest it's ever been. But instead of passing rent control laws to make things more affordable, or creating maybe a federal jobs program to clean up these streets, the only answer that Eric Adams seems to have for the city of New York is to hire more police to criminalize the population in a city that already has the largest police budget in the world. So yes, it's a good thing that this guy pulled up to let Eric Adams know just how much of a crappy job he has done as New York City mayor. Because Eric Adams has only allowed New York City to get bought up even more than it already has been by the highest bidder. And he deserves to get put on blast for every second that he's allowed New York City to go to the wayside.
And I want to thank the supporters of all ethnic groups that I hear, particularly the men and women of the clergy that's here, that have joined me here today. And we are not surprised. We expected this. This is not surprising to us at all. the actions that have unfolded over the last 10 months, the leaks, the commentary, the demonizing. This did not surprise us that we reached this day. And I ask New Yorkers to wait to hear our defense before making any judgments. In about 30 minutes, you're going to hear a story of the case that is in front of us. This story will come from the federal prosecutors. And I ask to wait and hear our side to this narrative. From here, my attorneys will take care of the case so I can take care of the city. My day-to-day will not change. I will continue to do the job for 8.3 million New Yorkers that I was elected to do. Amen. And the 300,000 plus employees of our city government will continue to do their jobs, because this is what we do as New Yorkers. It's an insult to the hardworking people of this city that anyone would say that they won't do their jobs while this case proceeds in the background. They are dedicated public servants, and I have been one of them for many years, and they're going to continue to do their job, moving the city forward every day.
And what an insult it is for Eric Adams to conflate his trouble with the law with the fight of the average everyday New Yorker, because again, the only solution Eric Adams has had for any problem in New York is more policing, but it turns out that the entire time he was the criminal. And if we get into the details of this indictment, you will find out some serious cases of corruption, not only from Eric Adams himself, but those surrounding him. For example, according to the indictment, a senior official in the Turkish diplomatic establishment facilitated illegal campaign donations to Adams and also arranged for the mayor and his companions to receive free or discounted travel on Turkey's national airline, which is owned in large part by that country's government. But Adams received flights to France, China, Sri Lanka, India, Hungary, and Turkey. And in September 2021, the indictment alleges the Turkish official told Adams that it was his turn to repay. That official, by pressuring the New York City Fire Department to facilitate the opening of a new Turkish consulate building, which is 36 stories tall, without a fire inspection, in time for a high-profile visit by Turkey's own president. At the time, the building would have failed an FDNY inspection, the indictment says, and Adams, quote, did as he was instructed, and an FDNY official was told that he would lose his job if he failed to acquiesce, the indictment says. So Eric Adams wants to come out here in his response and act like a smart politician and take the attention away from himself by saying there are New Yorkers who don't want to do their jobs, when it has been Eric Adams himself who hasn't been doing his job. Instead of serving the people of New York City, we have another lying politician who is serving the interests of a foreign government instead of serving the interests of the people he was elected and is paid to represent. And I just want to point out how ridiculous this whole situation makes the entire Democratic Party look when they call Donald Trump a criminal and a convicted felon, because if you look behind the hood of every single one of these politicians, they're guilty of crimes more horrible and depraved than you can even imagine. These are disgusting human beings. So the real reason Eric Adams is being indicted is because 2024 is the year where all the lies and all the deceit of the most powerful people in the world has been getting revealed. One by one, they have all been falling down, and Eric Adams is just another one of those politicians joining the list. And you know what I have to say about that? Good riddance. Eric Adams was a cancer to New York, and the city is better off without him. And trust me, this isn't the end. All the evil and the corruption of the ruling elites will be exposed. And if you want to help expose it with me, make sure to stay tuned to Wrestling with Politics. And if you want more content, make sure to check out this video exposing how Hillary Clinton ruined America. And this other video breaking down Jill Stein's interview with The Breakfast Club. Thank you for watching this video.